Hey everyone, welcome back to Knicks Talk. I've got some absolutely massive news for you today, so buckle up and let's dive right in. The Knicks have just pulled off a blockbuster trade that's going to shake up the entire NBA landscape. That's right, folks. Mikal Bridges is coming to the Knicks. Let's break down the details of this trade because it's a doozy. The Knicks are acquiring Mikal Bridges and a second-round pick from the Brooklyn Nets. In exchange, they're sending Bojan Bogdanovic 5 first-round picks and a second-round pick to Brooklyn. You heard that right, 5 first-round picks. This is the kind of package we usually see for superstar players, reminiscent of the Rudy Gobert trade to Minnesota. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Another Villanova guy? Really? And I get it. Bridges will be joining his former college teammates Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, and Dante DiVincenzo on the Knicks. It's like we're assembling the Villanova All-Stars over here. But trust me, this move is about so much more than just a college reunion. Let's talk about what Mikal Bridges brings to the table. At 27 years old, he's established himself as one of the premier two-way players in the league. During his time in Phoenix, Bridges was known primarily for his stellar defense, with a solid but not spectacular offensive game. But when he moved to Brooklyn, we saw a whole new side of him. He stepped up his offensive production in a big way, averaging 21 points per game, while still maintaining his defensive prowess. With the Knicks, Bridges will likely be able to find a balance between these two roles. He won't need to carry the offensive load like he did in Brooklyn, which should allow him to focus more on his defensive strengths. And when you pair him with OG Anunoby, that's a defensive duo that's going to give opposing offenses nightmares. Speaking of Anunoby, let's not forget how his addition midway through last season catapulted the Knicks to the number 2 seed in the East. Adding Bridges to that mix could be absolutely explosive. And here's a fun fact that I absolutely love. Bridges hasn't missed a single game in his 6-year NBA career. That kind of durability is invaluable, especially considering the injury issues the Knicks faced in the playoffs last year. Now, let's talk about the financial implications of this trade, because they're significant. Bridges is on a very reasonable contract, making $23.3 million next season and $25.5 million the year after. This gives the Knicks some flexibility to potentially re-sign Anunoby and stay below the first apron of the salary cap. However, it might make it harder to keep Isaiah Hartenstein, who's hitting free agency. This is definitely something to keep an eye on as we move into the offseason. Note, if the mechanism for the deal is trading Bojan Bogdanovic alone, as initial reports indicated, the Knicks would be the second team to be hard-capped at the first apron for 2024-25 under the rules of the new CBA, joining Oklahoma City. However, if another small contract is included, such as that of Daquan Jeffries or Mamadi Diakite, the Knicks would be hard-capped at the second apron and would have more wiggle room to keep Anunoby and either Isaiah Hartenstein or restricted free agent Precious Achiuwa. There's also some interesting speculation about a possible extension for Bridges. He's eligible to sign for up to 3 years and $113 million in 6 months. Some NBA insiders are wondering if there might be a wink-wink agreement about this extension as part of the trade deal. Of course, this is all speculation at this point, but it's something to keep in mind as we move forward. One thing we do need to consider is how this trade impacts the Knicks' ability to pursue other star players in the future. They've given up a lot of draft capital in this deal, which means they might not have the assets to be players in the market if a top-tier star becomes available down the line. This is essentially the Knicks going all in on this core group of players. But let's focus on the positives here because there are a lot of them. If Bridges extends his contract and Anunoby re-signs, the Knicks are looking at a potential 5-year run with this core group, all of whom are in their 20s. In a relatively weak Eastern Conference, this could set the Knicks up for sustained success and potentially deep playoff runs for years to come. Let's take a moment to imagine what the Knicks' rotation might look like next season. You've got Jalen Brunson running the point, with Bridges and Anunoby on the wings, Julius Randle at power forward, and Mitchell Robinson at center. Coming off the bench, You've got Josh Hart, Dante DiVincenzo, Deuce McBride, and hopefully Isaiah Hartenstein if they can find a way to keep him. That's a deep, versatile, and defensively stout rotation that can compete with anyone in the East. One of the things I'm most excited about is the potential for this team defensively. Bridges and Anunoby are both elite wing defenders, and when you add in Josh Hart and Mitchell Robinson, you've got the makings of a truly suffocating defense. This aligns perfectly with Tom Thibodeau's coaching philosophy, and I can't wait to see how he utilizes these pieces. On the offensive end, Bridges' ability to space the floor and knock down threes should help alleviate some of the spacing issues the Knicks have faced in the past. His career 37.6% mark from three-point range is solid, and he's shown the ability to hit clutch shots in big moments. Now, I do want to address one potential concern that I'm sure is on the minds of many Knicks fans. This trade does create a bit of a logjam on the wing, with Bridges, Anunoby, Hart, and DiVincenzo all deserving of significant minutes. Thibodeau will have some tough decisions to make regarding playing time. However, I see this as more of a good problem to have. In today's NBA, you can never have too many versatile wings, and this depth should allow the Knicks to match up with any team in the league. Another aspect of this trade that I think is worth mentioning is how it impacts the Knicks' rivalry with the Brooklyn Nets. Not only did the Knicks acquire a key player from their crosstown rivals, but they also sent a message that they're serious about competing for a championship right now. This move firmly establishes the Knicks as the premier basketball team in New York City, and I'm sure that fact isn't lost on the team's fan base or ownership. Looking at the bigger picture, this trade signals a clear shift in the Knicks' approach to team building. For years, we've heard rumors about the Knicks potentially pursuing this star or that star in free agency. But with this move, they're showing that they believe in the core they've assembled and are willing to go all in to support it. Rather than waiting for a superstar to choose them, they're creating their own homegrown powerhouse. Of course, there's always risk involved in a move like this. The Knicks have given up a significant amount of future assets, and if things don't work out as planned, it could set the franchise back. But I have to say, I love the boldness of this move. The Knicks are betting on themselves and on the culture they've built over the past few years. They're saying, "We believe in this group, and we're going to do whatever it takes to maximize our window of contention." So, what do you all think about this trade? Are you as excited as I am to see Mikal Bridges in a Knicks uniform? Do you think the team gave up too much? Or is this the kind of move they needed to make to take the next step? Let me know in the comments below. I always love hearing your thoughts and opinions. Before we wrap up, I want to give a huge shout out to the Knicks front office for pulling this off. Leon Rose, William Wesley, and the rest of the team have done a fantastic job of building this roster piece by piece, and this move feels like the culmination of years of smart, patient team building. As we move forward, there are still plenty of questions to be answered. How will Thibodeau integrate Bridges into the lineup? Can the Knicks find a way to retain Isaiah Hartenstein? Will they make any other moves this offseason? Rest assured, we'll be covering all of these topics and more in the coming weeks and months. If you're as hyped about this news as I am, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We'll be following all the fallout from this trade and what it means for the Knicks' future. Plus, with the draft and free agency coming up, there's sure to be plenty more news to discuss. Thanks for watching, everyone. Your support means the world to me, and I'm so excited to continue this journey with all of you as we watch the Knicks take this next big step. As always, go Knicks!